Good day, everyone, and welcome to today's session on getting started with Trend Vision One Endpoint Security. During this training session, we will explore the unique security needs of servers and workloads compared to traditional endpoints. We'll demonstrate initial configurations and deploy security policies. Today, we'll explore the unique security needs of servers and workloads compared to traditional endpoints. We'll discuss why they require different agents. Here are our key objectives. We'll delve into the specific protection requirements for servers, workloads, and standard endpoints. Learn how to set up the Trend Vision One endpoint security environment and discover how to create protection managers for both server workloads and standard endpoints. And finally, we'll demonstrate how to add protected endpoints to Trend Vision 1. And finally, we'll guide you through the creating and deploying security policies tailored to servers, workloads, and standard endpoints. These parts of our organization are like the frontline soldiers. They face constant attacks from outsiders trying to get in. It's our job to make sure they're well defended. Why is this so important? First off, financial impact. If these resources get compromised, it could hit our bottom line hard. Attacks might disrupt operations or even lead to financial losses. Second, confidentiality. We've got a lot of sensitive stuff here, like company secrets and important data. If that info leaks out, it could cause major problems for us. Third, innovative ideas and creations are what set us apart. If they're exposed or stolen, it could hurt our competitive edge. Fourth, reputation. Trust is everything. If people can trust us to keep their data safe, our reputation takes a big hit. That's something we work hard to protect. Trend Vision One Endpoint Security offers a unified platform for managing endpoint protection across your entire organization. Whether you're dealing with Windows or Mac desktops, Windows or Linux servers, or other workloads, this solution provides a centralized approach to deployment and management. This means no more switching between different consoles for endpoint, server, and workload security. Key benefits includes single console management. Use the same Trend Vision One console you're familiar with for risk insights, extended detection and response, and attack surface risk management. Next, you'll have a comprehensive endpoint protections, secures your entire endpoint environment, including traditional desktops, servers, and cloud-based workloads. Finally, seamless integration. It easily integrates Trend Vision One endpoint security with your existing Trend Micro solutions or migrate security events from other products. Let's dive into how we can defend our endpoint computers against threats. There are several ways threats could sneak into our system through endpoints, so it's crucial to stay vigilant and employ effective detection techniques. Let us discuss the four main layers providing protection for our endpoints, starting with endpoint uh, entry point detection. This method focuses on capturing threats as they attempt to enter the endpoint. It's like a standing guard at the door, ready to intercept anything suspicious before it gets in. Our web reputation feature safeguards you from malicious websites. If you accidentally stumble upon a harmful site, our technology will detect the danger and block access, preventing your endpoint from becoming infected. Second is the pre execution. Here is where we are proactive. We use techniques to catch threats as they are being written to disk or loaded into memory. So before they even have a chance to do any harm. It's like stopping a problem before it starts. Our anti-malware solution detects and prevent threats such as ransomware, virus malware, spyware, trojans, worms, and viruses. There's also endpoint firewall for server workloads called intrusion prevention that provides virtual patching to protect against software vulnerabilities. For all vulnerabilities reported globally, 60 to 70% are being disclosed by Trend Micro from a bounty program called Zero Day Initiative. Therefore, before a patch has been released for operating systems and software applications, our customers are protected through virtual patching. Now, despite our best efforts, some threats might slip through undetected until they actually run. That's where this phase kicks in. It monitors and blocks suspicious activities as they happen, preventing potential damage in real time. This is where behavior monitoring and predictive machine learning protects the endpoints. Changes and behaviors happening on the processes, services, registry, and what's loaded on memory are monitored for suspicious behavior and thereby terminated from being executed on the endpoint. Lastly, we're watching for any attempts to sneak data out of the endpoint, whether it's sensitive information or signals of an ongoing attack. This helps us stay ahead of any data breaches or unauthorized transfers. Data loss prevention prevents sensitive information from leaking out of your endpoints. Command and control servers are being blocked for any network connections being established. By combining these automated detection techniques, we create layers of defense that significantly enhance our endpoint security. It's not just about blocking threats, it's about staying proactive and safeguarding our systems around the clock. We're going to delve into how our software provides tailored security measures for different types of systems within your organization, focusing on servers, workloads, and end user endpoints. Let's start by understanding that the nature of servers and workloads differs significantly from that of your typical end user devices. Because of these differences, the type of protection we apply also varies. On the left side of our slide, we see a depiction of a potential threats targeting servers and workloads. Oh, why focus on this? Well, attackers often use sophisticated methods to exploit vulnerabilities in applications and operating systems found on servers. Once they gain access, they might perform what's known as lateral movement. This means they move from one system to another within your network. For instance, an attacker might initially compromise a user's desktop and then use it as a base to infiltrate deeper into your network. They might use tools like Mimikatz to steal credentials from your employees and navigate through your environment undetected. Now, this kind of threat is less about direct attacks, such as those you'd see with phishing emails on desktops, and more about exploiting the interconnected nature of your systems. On the other hand, end user devices like desktops are commonly exposed to threats through emails or by visiting unsafe websites. Since these devices are used differently, the protective strategies we employ are also distinct. Now, let's talk about how we protect these environments. For servers and workloads, our approach includes specific capabilities that are activated through security policies. These are similar to what we offer with our cloud-based and on-premises solutions such as Cloud One Workload Security and our Deep security product. In essence, our software ensures that each part of your IT ecosystem is safeguarded according to its unique risk and usage patterns. This tailored protection strategy helps prevent attackers from exploiting system vulnerabilities and protects sensitive data across your organization. As we proceed, I'll demonstrate how these policies are implemented and managed, ensuring you have the knowledge to maintain robust security across all your systems. Let's move to the next slide where I'll show you some of the protection features available for servers and workloads. So let's break down these features and understand how they cater to different needs within our IT environment. So for our server and workload protection, we have the anti-malware module. Now, this module is crucial for defending against traditional malware and ransomware attacks. It employs a variety of techniques, including heuristics, behavior monitoring, and predictive machine learning, technology we've been refining for many years. These protections are configurable through specific policies tailored to your system's needs. Next, let's talk about the web reputation. While not commonly activated for servers and workloads, it's included in the same package as the anti-malware protection. This module is particularly useful for endpoints such as desktops, where it helps prevent employees from accessing dangerous websites, thereby providing an additional layer of visibility and security. Moving on to the network security, we have two key modules, the firewall module and the intrusion prevention module. These are essential for maintaining security once an attacker has bypassed the external defenses of your network. The firewall helps to minimize internal attacks by blocking certain types of connections. Meanwhile, the intrusion prevention module is vital for what we call virtual patching. It protects against the latest vulnerabilities and exploits even before official patches are released. This proactive defense is crucial, especially considering that Trend Micro discloses a significant portion of all known vulnerabilities through our Zero Day initiative. This initiative encourages researchers to share information about vulnerabilities, allowing us to protect our systems in advance of patch releases. Next, we also offer a device control, which manages the connection of external devices to your network. This module is not policy driven, but is crucial for controlling which devices can connect to your system. Now, let's discuss two detection only modules, integrity monitoring and log inspection. These modules do not prevent attacks but are critical for detection. Integrity monitoring tracks changes in files, folders, registry keys, and system services to ensure the system remains uncompromised. Now, the log inspection, on the other hand, monitors various log files for specific activities, alerting you to potential security issues. Lastly, we have application control. These modules allows you to operate in either detection or prevention mode. You can specify which applications are trusted and monitor to block those that are not, ensuring only authorized applications are run on your systems. Each of these modules can be tailored in terms of detection and prevention based on your specific security policies. This flexibility allows you to strengthen your defense mechanism against a wide range of threats, ensuring a robust protection across all your IT assets. So let's move on to the end user endpoint protection. The endpoint protection shares several modules with server and workload security, but there are key differences, especially in configuration and application. Just like in server protection, the anti-malware module plays a critical role. However, for endpoints, which frequently face direct threats via email or web browsing, the configuration options are broader to enhance protection against these entry points. Then the web reputation module is particularly crucial for endpoints because employees often encounter risk by opening emails or clicking on the links to dangerous websites. This modules allows you to set the level of protection aggressively, tailoring it to your organization's policy and risk level. While many organizations rely on the default Windows firewall, our endpoint firewall module provides an additional layer of security. It's there when you need more robust control over the network traffic on desktops and laptops. Unique to endpoint protection is the data loss prevention or the DLP module. This module ensures sensitive data does not leave the system unauthorized. You can configure DLP rules based on patterns such as credit card numbers or social security numbers or even specific keywords and data types. Setting up these rules might take some time, but is a powerful way to monitor and block the exfiltration of sensitive information. Device control is about managing what external devices can connect to endpoints. So important for security ports and data access points on laptops and desktops. Next is the outbreak prevention. Outbreak prevention strategy is about limiting the spread of malware within your organization. By monitoring events and adjusting thresholds, you can, for instance, block certain ports or file types to prevent a network worm or other malware from spreading. Similar to intrusion prevention in workload security, the vulnerability protection for endpoints focuses primarily on the operating system. It provides virtual patching capabilities, shielding against exploits that target unpatched vulnerabilities. Finally, application control determines which applications are allowed to run on endpoints. This module is essential for defending against zero-day threats and unrecognized malware by restricting applications to those explicitly permitted within your security policy. As you can see, each of these modules can operate in detection or prevention modes. Allows you to tailor the response based on specific needs and policies of your organization. For instance, you might choose to detect certain activities and alert administrators, or you might go further by actively blocking certain actions to prevent potential breaches. Implementing Trend Vision 1 endpoint security involves a strategic approach to integrating endpoint protection across your network, whether for desktops or servers. This process varies slightly depending on whether your current setup is cloud-based or on-premises and whether you are already using Trend Micro products. So let's break down those three main scenarios. So the three primary scenarios to understand how various organizations can adapt this robust security solution. So whether you're new to Trend Micro, considering a transition, or looking to enhance your existing setup, this session will provide you with a clear roadmap. So let's go into each scenario. So scenario one, new to Trend endpoint protection. For those of you who are new customers or perhaps exploring Trend Micro for the first time, this scenario is tailored for you. We will guide you on how to activate and utilize Trend Vision 1 from scratch. Now, this involves setting up the management console and deploying endpoint agents to protect your devices. It's a straightforward process designed to ensure Your organization's digital assets are secured right from the start. Scenario number two. Now let's talk about our existing customers who are already using other trend micro solutions such as Apex One as a service or Cloud One workload security. If you're interested in evaluating how Trend Vision One enhances your current security measures, this scenario is for you. We offer a seamless method to migrate specific agents from your current systems to Trend Vision One. This trial phase allows you to see the integration in action and assess its benefits. Once you are satisfied with the performance capabilities, upgrading the rest of your environment is as simple as a few clicks. This approach ensures that you can test without disrupting your ongoing operations. Scenario number three. For those organizations using Trend Micro's on-premises solutions such as Apex One on-prem or Deep Security and are not yet ready to fully migrate to the cloud, this options provides a flexible solution. You can start by connecting your existing on-premises systems on the Trend Vision One console. This connection allows you to forward security events and telemetry from your endpoints to the Trend Vision One, thereby enhancing your visibility and control over security threats without a full-scale migration. This method is particularly useful for organizations that need more time to plan their cloud strategy or have specific regulatory requirements that dictate a gradual transition. So each of these scenarios is designed to meet you where you are in your security journey, whether starting fresh, evaluating new integrations, or enhancing existing setups. Trend Vision One offers flexible, powerful tools to protect your organization against the latest security threats. So by the end of today's session, you'll have a clear understanding of how to implement or transition to Trend Vision One endpoint security effectively. Let us cover some key terminologies and components that are essential to understanding how Trend Vision One operates and how it can be implemented within your organization. Policy. A policy is essentially a collection of security settings that you can manage through the web console of your protection manager. These settings dictate how protection is applied to your endpoints and servers. It's important to note that the interface and options might differ slightly between endpoints and servers, which we'll explore in the demo. The security agent is the core component providing the active protection. You might be familiar with names like Apex One Agent or Deep Security Agent. These agents enforce the security policies you set, actively protecting your devices from threats. The endpoint sensor differs from the security agent in that it does not prevent threats. Instead, it focuses on collecting telemetry. Telemetry, these are detailed data on system activities such as file openings, downloads, scripts executions, and changes in processes, services, or registry keys. Now, this telemetry is then sent to the server, which in this context could be integrated within Vision One. Endpoint Basecamp is the initial software component installed on your devices. It serves as the gateway for integrating your endpoints with the Vision One platform. Whether you install a standard endpoint package or a server workload package, Basecamp is included and establishes the first point of contact with Vision One. Following the installation of Basecamp, Other components like the security agent or endpoint sensor can be installed. For those familiar with Apex One as a service, the protection manager in Vision One serves a similar purpose. It is the management hub where you create and distribute policies to your security agents. Think of it as the control center for defining and applying your security strategies across the organization. In our upcoming demo, we will show the differences in policy management between endpoints and servers. We'll demonstrate how to install and configure the endpoint basecamp followed by the security agent and endpoint sensor. And finally, we'll illustrate the role of the protection manager in creating and applying security policies. So what are the first steps for setting up Trend Vision One? For our existing Vision One customers, the first step is updating your system to the foundation services. If you're a recent customer, you'll likely already have this update. However, if you've been with us for a longer time, it's crucial to upgrade to this foundational level introduced around July 2023. Now, this update is key as it enables the creation of different instances and facilitates the migration of existing Trend Micro products such as Apex One SaaS or Cloud One Workload Security into your Vision One environment. The service gateway is a virtual appliance that you can deploy within your network. This appliance acts as a proxy, facilitating secure and efficient connections between your servers, desktops, and the Vision One platform. Enabling this service simplifies the network configuration and enhances connectivity without extensive manual proxy setup. If you're not using the service gateway, you'll need to configure proxies manually. This setup ensures that all desktops and servers in your network can communicate securely with Vision One. Proper proxy configuration is essential for maintaining uninterrupted access and functionality. The final step involves configuring your firewall to allow specific exceptions. These exemptions are necessary for your devices to connect to Vision One without any hitches. Depending on your geographical location, the required URLs and exemptions may vary. Trend Micro provides a comprehensive knowledge-based article that offers detailed guidance based on your region, ensuring that your network is properly configured to communicate with Vision One. So here are some, practical tips. Always ensure your system is running the latest version of foundation services to take full advantage of the new features and improvements. You can also leverage the available documentation and support articles to assist with configurations and troubleshooting. And when setting up service gateway or configuring proxies and firewall exemptions, plan these changes during low traffic hours to, minimize any potential disruptions. Imagine an organization that is completely new to Trend Micro. Previously, they might have used a different vendor for their security needs. Now, they've chosen to adopt Trend Micro, specifically our Trend Vision One platform. So here are the step-by-step implementation. First step is for our new users is to set up what we call a protection manager within the Vision One platform. This is essentially the command center where you will manage all your security policies. You can opt for different types of protection here, such as for standard endpoints or for server and workloads. Given our focus today on endpoint security, we will select the standard endpoint setup. Next, you'll proceed with the installation of the Endpoint Basecamp package on your endpoints. This package is crafted within Vision One and acts as the foundational software that connects your endpoints to the Vision One platform. Think of it as setting up a new outpost in uncharted territory. This is where you start building your defenses. Once Basecamp is installed, the next crucial step is to create and apply your security policies. These policies are rules and settings that determine how security is handled on your endpoints. They can include specifications on how to manage threats, how to handle updates, and other security protocols. By defining these policies, you ensure that all endpoints adhere to the same security standards, providing a uniform layer of protection across your organization. So we'll do a demo now and we'll show you how to do that. In setting up a new standard endpoint protection manager within the Trend Vision One platform, we begin by logging into your Vision One web console. Once you're logged in, your attention should be directed towards the module labeled Endpoint Security. So we'll click on the Endpoint Security module. This section will open up the options available for managing and setting up endpoint protections. Today, we are focusing solely on setting up a new standard endpoint protection manager. So we'll not delve into the other features available within the platform. So what will I do is I'll click on the endpoint inventory. Because it's our first venture into using endpoint security with Vision One, as expected, there are no instances or agents that are set up yet. Therefore, our initial step is to create a product instance by clicking on go to the product instance button. This will jump to a section within Vision One called Service Management. So, product instance. Here you'll find options to add existing products. However, as we've established, we currently don't use Apex One SaaS or Cloud One workload security. Therefore, our focus will be on setting up a new product instance by clicking the Create Product Instance menu button. In this part of our presentation, we'll navigate to a section within Vision One called Service Management Product Instance. Here, you'll find options to add existing products. However, as we've established, we currently don't use Apex One SaaS or Cloud One Workload. Therefore, our focus will be on setting up a new product instance. So think of this step as creating a new instance of Apex One SaaS or a new deep security within Vision One. So to proceed, we'll simply click on the select an instance from the drop-down list. Next is we'll click on the standard endpoint protection, our instance type for Windows and Mac desktops. Currently, we can have a maximum of 5 instances. Now, each instance can have 20,000 agents. So let's enter a display name. For example, default and protection. Next is to select a region by clicking on the drop-down list. In this example, we'll select the United States. You can enter a description if you wish. However, for our current scenario, we'll just go ahead and click the Save button to ensure all changes are saved. Now, this starts the provisioning process, allowing us to integrate and manage a fresh instance tailored to our security needs. The provisioning takes a few minutes. And now it says connected. We now have a new Apex One server within Vision One, known as the standard endpoint protection instance. Take a look at the display name column. This column serves as your key reference point for identifying each instance you create, especially if you have multiple instances running. Now let's go back to the endpoint security by clicking on it. Then click the endpoint inventory and click on the default and protection that we previously set up. This will display two groups, one for Windows and one for Mac. Currently, there are no endpoints visible here. So what we'll do is we'll click on this gear icon located on the upper corner of your screen. At this stage, you have the option to configure various settings under the general sensor settings and global settings by clicking the gear icon located on the upper right corner of the screen. Okay. And as you can see, the advanced risk telemetry feature is automatically enabled. This means that as soon as machine connects to Vision One, this feature is active, enhancing security monitoring without manual intervention. However, the situation is different for endpoint sensor detection and response. This feature, crucial for collecting detailed telemetry, incurs a cost of 20 credits per agent. Consequently, it is not enabled by default to manage resources usage efficiently. So you have to enable. So you have the flexibility to activate this feature for all agents during the initial installation process in Basecamp. Simply enable it to ensure that it's turned on across all your systems right from the start. Alternatively, you may choose to keep it disabled initially and activate it later for specific machines as needed. This selective activation can be beneficial, but consider enabling it universally across all systems to maximize your security posture. Then we click Save button located below. The next step is to get the agent installer by clicking on the download icon menu located on the upper part portion of the screen. Currently, we are focusing on standard endpoint protection for desktop environments. Shortly, we'll expand our discussion to include server and workload protection. Additionally, you can choose to activate just the endpoint sensor as desired. However, it's important to note that the initial option here pertains specifically to standard endpoint protection. So when setting up standard endpoint protection, one of the first steps is to select the operating system. We currently support two operating systems for breach protection. It's Windows and Mac. It's important to specify the correct operating system to ensure that the protection is configured accurately and function as intended. We will select the Windows operating system. Then we select the combined OS architecture, which is the x86 underscore 64, the radio button. And then select the Windows under the endpoint group manager, which is the drop-down list. So once you've selected the operating system, the next step is to download the installer. Now, this process is quite similar to downloading the installer for an Apex One SaaS agent. You can choose to download the installer directly to a shared folder or onto a specific machine of your choice. This flexibility allows you to manage the installation process in a way that best fits your network and infrastructure needs. So download. In this scenario, we will download it to a temp folder in Windows. Please note that the installer is approximately half gigabyte in size. It's important to be aware of this file size, especially when you're planning downloads or distributions across your network to ensure there's sufficient bandwidth and storage available. So let's extract the zip file. And just use the default and extract button and wait until the extraction is complete. Once the initial download is complete, you can proceed to install the Endpoint Basecamp. Now, despite its small size, only 4 megabytes, it plays a crucial role in the setup process. As part of the software package, installing the Endpoint Basecamp is the first step. Immediately following this, the system will automatically begin installing the standard endpoint protection agent. So do you want to allow this app? Yes, we will. Then the installation process will commence. After the initial setup, the agent will automatically install and begin reporting back to Vision One. Please note that installing the standard endpoint protection requires a system restart. This is necessary because the installation occurs at the deep kernel level, impacting core system functions. Once you return to Vision One, you'll find the machine where we install the client package listed under the endpoint name column. It will indicate that the standard endpoint protection is active and the sensor is connected. This connectivity is a result of the settings we adjusted earlier where we enable the sensor for all agents which utilize, a few credits. So what we'll do next is we'll click on the default end protection, the instance that we created earlier. We'll click on Windows, and then we can see our client 2 that we have just installed. So we'll put a tick on this, select that endpoint name, and then click the response. Now, if we look at the top of the response interface within Vision One, you'll notice several activities that can be directly initiated from here. You have the options to isolate the endpoint, run custom scripts that you previously created and imported into Vision One. You can scan for malware or initiate a remote shell session. These commands allows for immediate action on the specific machine we've selected. The reason we can perform this action is that Basecamp was installed and is reporting back to Vision One. Additionally, since the standard endpoint agent was also installed, you have further capabilities such as scanning for malware. Next scenario. If you wish to create a new server and workload protection manager, the process is quite straightforward. Here, we are inside Vision One. To create a product instance for our server and workload protection, we'll click on the server management, which is located on the left-hand side menu. Then we'll select the product instance button. Then we'll create the product instance button menu, which is on top. Here we will set up a Cloud One workload security server as a new instance within Vision One, which is now called server and workload protection. So we'll click on the drop-down list for the instance type. We will select the appropriate instance, which is, server and workload protection. Next, we provide a name for the instance under the display name. And then select the region where it will be hosted by clicking on the drop-down list. And of course, we'll select the United States, our default, and we'll add a few description here for future references. Then we'll click Save at the bottom menu. It would show again provisioning for a few minutes. And then it would be connected. Currently within Vision One, we have 2 servers operational. These servers manage our standard endpoint protection for desktop environments, including both Windows and Mac systems. Additionally, we have server and workload protection configured for both Windows and Linux platforms. As you can see, we categorize this under two instance types: standard endpoint protection and server and workload protection. Okay, so let's click on the endpoint security. Click on the endpoint inventory, and we can now see our second instance here, the server and workload protection manager. So click on the default server protection. We can see that there are no endpoints available. So on the upper right corner of the screen, again, we'll click again the gear icon. And then we select the options like what we did on the standard endpoint protection. And similarly, within the settings, we enable the endpoint sensor detection response feature. This will apply to all agents installed on the server and workload platforms. Then we click Save button below. And on the bottom right corner of the screen, our settings is saved. Now let's move on to obtaining the agent installer by clicking the download icon located above the screen, Agent Installer. This installer is designed for server and workload protection. At this point, we can select the operating system. Will it be Windows or Linux? So we'll select Windows. Next, you have the option to download the full package, which is quite large, or you can choose the auto detect feature, which we will do in this demo. Then, we'll click the Protection Manager drop-down list and provide the details for the instance we created earlier. Okay, especially if you are managing more than one, since we have only one instance, then we'll use the default server protection drop-down list. Now we are ready to download the package. So let's click on the download button. Now save the file in the folder. This package is significantly smaller because we selected the auto detect option. Essentially, it's the Basecamp package, only about 4 megabytes in size. So let's proceed with the extraction. So once extracted, the system will automatically download and install the appropriate package for our setup. So we'll extract, select the default, and then we'll execute the installer by double clicking on it. Then we'll run, and we'll wait for the installation process to complete. You'll know that the installation is successful when you see the shield symbol located at the lower portion of your screen, lower right. Now, this is also present in products like Deep Security or the Cloud One Workload Security. At this point, the agent starts reporting back to Vision 1. So when I access Vision 1 and navigate to the server workload protection, okay, and under my endpoint inventory, I can see my server is connected. Further, if I proceed to the server and workload management by clicking on this default server protection, my server appears listed here. Then I will select my server by clicking on this tick box. And then I click on the response drop-down list located in the upper portion of the screen. And I have various response options available just as before. Now, this includes isolating the endpoint, running custom remote scripts, scanning for malware, or starting a remote shell session. This makes managing the scenario very straightforward. So let's look on the next scenario. So in the second scenario, the organization is currently using Apex One as a service, and is considering a transition to Vision One. The primary motivation for this move is to consolidate systems. So instead of managing separate consoles environments, everything would be unified under one platform. However, they they want to conduct a test first to ensure it meets their needs. In this case, to facilitate the test and transition, you should begin by setting up a new protection manager. Similar to what we just demonstrated, this involves creating a new standard endpoint protection profile within Vision 1. Next, we will focus on exporting specific policies from Apex 1 SaaS and importing them into Vision 1. Now, this step is crucial because we want to test the migration on a few existing agents. By migrating these agents from Apex 1 SaaS to Vision 1, we ensure a smooth transition. It's essential to confirm that the policies currently in use within Apex 1 SaaS are also available in Vision 1. This way, when we migrate an agent, it will have the necessary policies in place to maintain effective protection. Once the relevant policies are in place within Vision 1, the subsequent step is to update or transition the selected endpoints. This involves configuring these endpoints to report to the new product manager within Vision 1. This step is critical as it directs the endpoint communication and security reporting to the new system, ensuring that all monitored activities and threats are managed through Vision 1. At this stage, we have successfully migrated the protection agents to Vision 1, but it's important to note that the endpoint sensors have not yet been transitioned. The sensors are important for gathering telemetry necessary for enhanced endpoint detection and response capabilities. So to address this, we will need to proceed with installing the endpoint sensor package, which we often refer to as Basecamp. This installation is essential for enabling Vision 1 to collect detailed telemetry and provide the good response actions against threats. So it's the scenario again, just making sure that we are on the same page. Now let's access the Apex Central, which is the web console used for managing Apex 1 SaaS. So from here, we'll navigate to the policy management by clicking on the policies menu. Then we'll select the policy management. And here you'll find the product, the Apex 1 security agent. It's important to select the specific policies that are currently applied to the machines we plan to migrate. So let's choose the default policy by clicking on the tick box. And then we'll click the import settings button. And we'll save the file to a temp folder, then click save. Next, we'll transition into Vision 1. Here, navigate to the endpoint security and then to the standard endpoint protection. You'll notice that the interface resembles Apex Central, although with a bit different color schemes. However, the functionality remains consistent. The web console operates in much the same way, allowing you for a more familiar user interface as you manage your endpoint security. So what we will do is we'll click on the policies menu, which is located on the upper portion of the menu. And then we click the policy management. And our next step is to import the policy into Vision 1 that we previously exported from Apex 1 SaaS or the Apex Central SaaS. To do this, we'll navigate to the import settings option. So we'll click on this. And then we select the file that you exported earlier and then proceed with the import process. Now that you have successfully imported the specific policy called default, you have the same policy available in Vision 1 that you previously had in Apex Central. Any machine that was using the default policy in Apex Central will now automatically be able to utilize the same policy within Vision 1. So next is now we're going to click on the directories menu, which is located above our console. And then we'll select the product servers. In the traditional Apex Central console, you have the option to select which product service connects to Apex Central. This setup is quite similar in Vision 1. Here, you'll find a section that corresponds to where your Apex 1 endpoints, previously known as Office can. And this URL is crucial as it is the endpoint that all your standard endpoints with Vision 1 will use to connect. Each customer have a unique URL, but this specific URL is vital. So therefore, we need to ensure it is copied correctly. So go back to Apex 1 SaaS, then click Directories menu on top. Open the Apex 1 SaaS console by clicking the URL link and expand the agent tree by clicking the trend domain. And then select the machines we wish to migrate. For example, we need to migrate client-01. And then we'll click on the Manage Agent Tree. And then we'll move. Next step is to move this agent to another server. Specifically, we will transfer it to an Apex 1 server that is integrated within our Vision 1 environment. So we will click Move Select Agents to another Apex 1 server radio button located on the lower portion of the screen. So we proceed by pasting URL here in this box. We only need the core part of this URL. So we'll remove the HTTPS :// and any other trailing elements. We'll just keep the main identifier, which is the FQDN or the fully qualified domain name. Now, from this point, we can now click the Move button. Click OK. And another one. You'll notice that client 01 is no longer listed here. This is because it has successfully migrated and is now reporting into our Vision 1 environment. Now, switching back to Vision 1 console, we can navigate to the endpoint inventory. Here, the menu here. And here, under all the managed endpoint, okay, we can verify the presence of our migrated agent, which is client 1. Also, we can expand the default end protection under the server standard endpoint protection. We'll expand this one. And then we'll click Windows. And client 1 appears as an active endpoint. Now, this confirms that the agent has not only migrated successfully, but is also visible in the correct category within Vision 1. Importantly, client 1 is already operating under the correct policy. This is because we have previously imported the applied and necessary policies within our Vision 1 environment, ensuring a seamless protection, continuity, and compliance with our security standards. So let's click on this icon, the letter I stands for information or the number one. Okay. So to ensure that our migrated endpoint, such as client 1, has the necessary telemetry functionality, we need to install Basecamp. You might wonder if we need a separate installation process for this. The answer is straightforward. When we run the installer for standard endpoint protection, Basecamp is included as part of this installation. Therefore, simply downloading and running the standard agent installer will automatically set up the Basecamp for us. So what we will do, we'll select the x86_64 radio button, and then we'll proceed with the agent installer. We'll save the file, temp folder, and once saved, extract, file, extract button, wait until the instruction is complete. It's worth noting that that installing the Basecamp will not reinstall or disrupt the existing agent on our endpoints. When we proceed with this installation, the process is designed to only add the Basecamp component. This means that even though our endpoint already has an agent installed, the installation will simply integrate Basecamp into the existing setup without any duplication or interface with the agent's operation. So we'll double click on the endpoint Basecamp, click run, wait for the installation process to complete, and restart the machine to complete the entire installation. Once the machine is restarted, we switch back to Trend Vision 1. We can see that sensor connectivity is now connected. So let's select client 01 by putting a tick on the button. And then we'll click on the response button, just located above. And from here, we can also perform the same task as described previously. So, next scenario. Imagine our organization has conducted a thorough testing and is very pleased with the results. The new system performs comparably, if not identically, to our previous setup. Now, given this success, we're now ready to transition our entire Apex One SaaS environment into Vision One. So, our first step is in this process is to link the Apex One SaaS with Vision One. This connection is facilitated through a unique token. Take note, token, ensuring a secure and seamless integration between the two platforms. Next step, once connected, you'll find an option to upgrade your existing Apex One SaaS system directly into Vision One. This update is straightforward. Just click of a button. Finally, after updating, there's an important step we must not overlook: installing Basecamp on all existing machines. While the main migration is simple, installing Basecamp is essential as it provides critical telemetry data for our endpoint sensors and enhances the EDR capabilities. So again, here's our scenario. So let's begin. Let's consider the migration process. In our example today, we're demonstrating with just one machine. However, it's important to visualize this process being applied to a much larger scale. Imagine migrating not just one, but hundreds or even thousands of machines. In our demonstration today, you'll notice we're moving just two policies, whether you manage 10, 20, or even 50 policies in your Apex One SaaS environment. Our system is designed to handle and migrate all these policies simultaneously. Previous slide in the policies for Windows, and this one is for the Mac machines. So how do we proceed? So let's start by exploring the service management options available at the bottom left of your screen. So still focusing at the bottom left where you select the product instance, since we've already demonstrated how to create a new product instance, this time we'll add an existing product. So what we will do, we'll simply click on the Add Existing Product menu located on the top of the console. On the right-hand side of your console, we have the instance type. Now, we'll click on the drop-down list, and then we'll select the Trend Micro Apex One as a service. Take note, to enable communication between the systems, you'll need to generate a token. So what we will do, we will click on this link to generate the enrollment token. So once generated, we'll copy this token and enter it in our Apex One SaaS by clicking the copy icon. So copy. So below, you'll display that copy has been successful. So remember to click the save button so that we can finalize this setup. As you can see, the status is now set to pending. This indicates that the system is expecting a connection from Trend Micro Apex One SaaS. So we'll navigate to our Apex Central or the Apex One SaaS, then proceed to Trend Vision One menu by clicking on it. Upper right menu. And then we select the integration settings. And then we'll paste the token that you copied from Trend Vision One here in the enrollment token field. Then we'll click the register. Now, Apex One SaaS is connecting to Vision One. As you can see here, it indicates registered in the service status. Going back to Vision One console, Apex One SaaS established a connection with Vision One. You'll see the status indicating connected. However, there is a crucial step we'll address here, updating the entire Apex One SaaS within Vision One. This is accomplished by clicking the update button. Let's click the endpoint security menu on the left navigational panel and navigate to my endpoint inventory. And here we'll see the default endpoint protection and the default server protection that we created earlier. So additionally, you'll now find the new Trend Micro Apex One SaaS that is listed here. Okay, so we'll click on this. You'll notice that no endpoints are available. Currently, the two products, the Trend Micro Apex One SaaS and Vision One, are simply connected. They are registered with each other. However, we haven't migrated any agents yet. So let's go back by clicking the Service Management menu located here, the bottom left navigation panel of the screen. And under the product instance, we can now click the update button. As displayed on the console, updating your existing Apex One SaaS to Vision One will migrate everything into Vision One. So this includes all endpoints, roles, permissions, scope management, as well as users and groups. So to proceed, we'll just simply check the box that is labeled I agree, I agree. Yes, man. I have read and accepted, blah, blah. Okay. Check on that and then click the I agree to update button. So let's review what happens when you update from Apex One SaaS to Vision One. First off, permanent update. Once you switch to Vision One, the change is permanent. You won't be able to revert to Apex One SaaS. Everything will be managed through Vision One, which will look familiar in terms of administration. But please note that there is no rollback option. Second, compliance consideration. It's important to understand the compliance implications, including data privacy. Make sure to review these details as they are crucial to your operations. Third, administrator access during migration. If any administrator is logged into Apex One SaaS during the migration, they will be automatically logged out and locked out. Fourth, post-update tasks. There are several tasks you need to complete after the update to ensure everything is functioning as expected. Note, if you understand how this update will impact your system and you're ready to proceed, please check the I understand how the update will affect my system and agree to start the process box. So it's located here at the bottom and then click connect and transfer. Now it's updating. As the system migrates all data from Apex One SaaS to Vision One, you will see status update indicating connected once the migration is successfully completed. Now let's click on the endpoint security, which is located on the left navigation panel. In the standard endpoint protection manager, you will see your Apex One SaaS displayed here with all connected machines listed. Whether you have hundreds or thousands of machines, they will all appear on this screen. From here, we can navigate to the standard endpoint protection manager. So we'll click on the Windows and we need to install the Basecamp. So we'll click on the information or client letter I icon. And we need to install the Basecamp. So this is the final step in our migration. So let us now view the migrated policies and agents in Vision One by clicking the standard endpoint protection manager, and located here on the upper middle portion of the console, we will click on the drop-down list. Here we see several protection managers available. So this includes the default end protections standard endpoint protection manager and any others if you have migrated to Vision One. So what we'll do is we'll just simply select the standard endpoint protection manager. And then we'll click on the policies. And then we'll click on the policy management. So all the policies that we previously configured in Apex One SaaS will now be displayed here. Whether there were 20 policies or just 10, you were actively using, you'll see them all listed in this screen. So we'll click on the product menu. And then we'll select the Apex One Mac. And this one is for the Apex One Mac policies. So what we'll do next is just we'll click on the directories and then the users and endpoints. And all endpoint configurations will appear just as they did previously. You'll find them displayed in the same manner right here. If you attempt to access the previous Apex One SaaS platform that you used before, you will find that it no longer works. So this is what it would look like. This is because it has been migrated into Vision One. As a result, trying to access the old Apex One SaaS will result in an error message saying forbidden. Access is denied. So next scenario. So this is our next topic. If your organization is currently using Cloud One or endpoint and workload security, we'll discuss what are the steps when evaluating Trend Vision One endpoint security. Cloud One is a comprehensive platform offering a variety of services tailored to meet our customers' needs. Among these services, endpoint and workload security is a key component. In total, Cloud One includes 7 distinct services designed to protect cloud applications, cloud storage, and other cloud-based services. For those of you familiar with our on-premise solutions such as Deep Security, you'll find the user interface of Cloud One remarkably similar. This consistency in the interface ensures a seamless experience whether you're using our solutions in the cloud or on-premise. First step is to export the policy. So let's begin by clicking on the policies menu. So we'll expand the base policy and expand the windows and select the Windows 29. This is the policy we want to export to Trend Vision One. So we'll click on the export button and then we'll select the XML export option. Then click Save. Once we've exported the policy, the next step is to export other customized settings such as the list of IP addresses. Now, these lists are crucial because they help us set up exclusions or exemptions specifically for the firewall intrusion prevention module. It's this customized list that we'll be exporting next. So what we'll do is we'll click on the IP list located on the left navigation panel and we'll take the custom IP list as our example. Now we'll click on the export the XML, save the file. Now, despite the different product names, you have Cloud One Endpoint and Workload Security in one instance and Server and Workload Protection in Vision One. The core technology and default settings remain consistent across versions because this consistency means that the built-in rules you're familiar with are the same. And by exporting our custom rules, we ensure that our tailored settings are perfectly aligned with the standard framework. Now, let's click on the rules, which is located on the navigation panel. Then we'll go to the integrity monitoring. And then we'll select the custom rule we created here. So we'll select this one. And we'll click the export button and export the XML format and then save it. In summary, what we are doing is that we're compiling a set of configuration files to ensure that no settings are missed in Vision One. Now, let's review the list of computers that are currently protected by Cloud One. So what we'll do is we'll click on the computers menu located on the upper portion of the screen. In this example, I need to deactivate a list of computers. However, before doing so, it's important to select a subset of computers for a pilot project to evaluate the Vision One. So let's say we are currently protecting 1,000 computers in this organization. For our pilot, I've chosen 10 computers to deactivate and assess how well Vision One integrates and performs. Right now, in our scenario, I selected server-01 as the primary computer for this scenario. So we click on the actions, then select deactivate. This action will stop it from reporting to Cloud One Endpoint and Workload Security. So we click OK. So once the computer is deactivated, there is no longer any connection between the security agent running on the server and any other product. This step is important because it prepares the server to be reconfigured to report on Vision 1. Now let's move to the Vision 1 console. To set up our pilot project with server and workload protection, we'll start by creating a product instance. So we'll simply click on the endpoint security, workload protection. Now, let's set up a server and workload protection instance on Vision 1. This process involves importing settings to replicate our existing configuration from Cloud One. You'll notice that the interface in Vision 1 closely mirrors that of Cloud One, including the tabs and the dashboard layout, making it familiar and easy to navigate. To begin, we simply import our previously exported settings. So we start with the policies by clicking on it. Then we click New, and then we'll import from File, and then choose File. Select the policies, click Open. And then select the base policy. Select the Windows. Then click Next. And the next button again for the confirmation. And then click Close. The import is successful. So having successfully imported the policy, we'll proceed to import the remaining settings in a similar manner. In a large enterprise, the settings might be more complex. But for today's overview, we're focusing on the basics to demonstrate the process. By importing just this one policy, our server and workload protection settings in Vision 1 are now operational, ready to protect a computer directly through Vision 1, bypassing the need for Cloud One. Next, we'll continue setting up our pilot environment by importing the additional settings. So we'll start with the IP list. Click on the IP list, click the new button, import from file, file location, IP list, next, next, confirm, then close. So we'll perform the same action for our customized rules by expanding on the rules, integrity monitoring rules, new button, then import from file, just file, integrity, next, next to confirm, and then close. Now, with these simple steps, we have now prepared our environment to mirror the protection settings we previously utilized in Cloud One endpoint and work security. Our goal is to demonstrate that Vision 1 server and workload protection can provide the same level of security. So let's move on to the administration section where we'll proceed to activate the protection on our pilot computer. So our pilot computer is Server 01. It is a machine we are all familiar with. To reconfigure Server 01 to communicate with Vision 1, we'll need to use script. So let's navigate through the system together. So let's go to the updates. So here's the updates. So start will here's the generate deployment script. So we are now looking at a wizard that is designed to generate the deployment of the scripts. Typically, the scripts produced are more comprehensive than what we require. They are automatically created to support Vision 1 and other Trend Micro products. If we are dealing with a new server that lacks a security agent, here's what we need to do. We download and install the security agent. Second is we'll activate the security agent using a product manager, which could be a Vision 1 or other standalone Trend Micro solution. So let's click the generate deployment script wizard. This is the wizard, the button. Tailored specifically for Vision One, this wizard provides a comprehensive script. The script will guide us through downloading, installing, and activating a security agent. The ultimate goal is to seamlessly integrate and connect directly to Vision One. Okay, so let's click on the drop-down list on the platform drop-down list. Since our pilot computer is Server 01, it operates on a Windows platform, specifically Windows Server 2019. So we will specifically require the deployment script for a Windows agent deployment. The wizard is designed to generate a complete script covering all the activities previously mentioned, downloading, installing, and activating the security agent. However, for our purposes today, we are particularly interested in just the activation command. This command is crucial because it includes the URL, the fully qualified domain name, which is needed to connect to the trend Vision One. So highlighted here is the entire URL, it's the entire script. So we'll copy. And now we have the activation command copied. Let's proceed with the next step. So on the server 01, we'll need to access the server directly, and once we're logged in, we'll open a command prompt, of course, with administrative rights. It's important because we're making some system level changes. So next is to navigate to the main folder of the Deep Security Agent. So it's important to remember that this server already has an agent installed, which was previously reporting to Cloud One endpoint and workload security. So now we are in the correct directory on the server 01, so we will paste the activation command. Remember, the executable we need to run is called DSA_control. DSA stands for Deep Security Agent, which is part of the Cloud One for endpoint and workload security, which is now managed under the Vision One product suite. The rest of the script that says has something to do with Active Directory configured, which is handled automatically. So once we input the activation command and press the enter key, everything will be set up for us. This steps initiates the contact with our Vision One account for registration. So in this process, we're using a public fully qualified domain name, or FQDN, which facilitates communication over the internet securely and reliably. If everything is set up correctly and the network and internet connection is stable, you will see a confirmation on your screen stating command session completed, shown here. Please note that the registration process with Vision One is not instantaneous. It typically takes about a minute or so for the changes to reflect on the console. Now let's consider our scenario. Previously, our solution, which is Cloud One endpoint and workload security, was protecting 1,000 computers. With the steps we just completed, our pilot system is now successfully registered and reporting to Vision One under the server and workload protection. Now we need to install the Basecamp. So let's go to the endpoint inventory, which is located in the left navigation panel. Here. From here, we can click on the icon information of the server 01, which is our pilot machine. This one, the letter I. And we'll click on the agent installer and then save the compressed file in a temporary folder. And as we've covered earlier, Basecamp is crucial for providing telemetry information to Vision One. This data is essential for enabling XDR, risk management, and threat hunting capabilities. It is important to note that Basecamp itself does not provide direct protection against threats. Instead, it works in tandem with the security agent. The security agent handles the active defense mechanisms, while Basecamp focuses on gathering and transmitting the detailed telemetry data. So let's extract the zip file. extract all, extract. Now, we'll execute the Basecamp. Click run. In our current setup, we are performing the installation manually because we are dealing with a relatively simple environment. However, it's important to note that in a more complex or larger scale environment, this entire process can be automated using scripts. Once we install the Basecamp on our servers, we establish sensor connectivity. This is the final status in our setup process. Our pilot computer is now actively reporting to Vision One. Both the security agent and the endpoint sensor are up and running, effectively providing real-time information to Vision One. In conclusion, with just a few steps, we've successfully created our pilot environment. The setup is now primed for us to evaluate the benefits of integrating Vision One. So let's move on to the next topic. So after a thorough evaluation of our pilot environment, we are pleased with the result and ready to proceed with a larger scale migration. Previously, we managed a network where 1,000 computers were reporting to Cloud One. We are now ready to migrate all of these computers to the server and workload protection within Vision One. Initially, we set up a pilot to test and evaluate. This pilot included exporting and importing our protection and customized settings to ensure everything was configured correctly in our environment. Now, to migrate the remaining 1,000 computers efficiently, we won't be moving them one by one. Instead, we integrate our entire Cloud One account into Vision One. So, the first step is to add existing product. To do this, let's click the Service Management menu located on the left navigation panel. Click on the product instance, and then we'll click on the Add Existing Product. Select an existing product by clicking on the instance type drop-down menu, and then we'll click the Trend Cloud One. To ensure a seamless communication between our Cloud One endpoint and workload security instance in Vision One, we use what we called an enrollment token. During our previous discussion, we covered how to create this token by simply clicking on this click generate a token. Then we'll copy the token. Copied successfully. Okay. Then we click saved. And when Cloud One makes a request using a specific access token, it will establish a connection. Currently, it is pending. And once this product makes the correct call using the token, we will successfully collect and import all the necessary settings from the product. So our primary focus today is on the server and workload security, particularly our agent-based security for endpoints and workloads. Cloud One isn't just limited to this. It also includes services like container security, which is crucial if you're working with container infrastructure. This service will help protect the software lifecycle, ensuring that your development processes are secure from start to finish. Additionally, for those of you utilizing the cloud solutions like OneDrive, Cloud One offers file scanning for cloud storage protection. This one ensures that your stored data remains secure against potential threats. And for our customers engaged in open source software development, we have the Open Source Security by Snake. Now, this service provides additional security measures, embedding essential software libraries into your source code to meet a high security standards. Now, let's refocus on our main agenda for today. We are planning to integrate and migrate our server and workload security solution into Vision One. Therefore, we will click the integrations icon located on the bottom of your screen. Then we'll click on the Trend Vision 1, which is on your left navigational panel. Remember the enrollment token that we've generated previously. So let's click on the Register Enrollment Token button located on the upper right. Then paste the enrollment token here and then click on the register. And after clicking the register button, the system will begin the integration process, which will take some time. This is normal as it establishes a secure connection and synchronizes the necessary data between Cloud 1 and Vision 1. Once the process is complete, you should see two important indicators on your Trend Cloud 1 console. Enrollment status. This should show as registered. So it indicates the token has been successfully accepted and your system is now enrolled with Vision 1. Next is status. It should read connected. It confirms that there is an active and stable communication link between Cloud 1 endpoint and your workload security and Vision 1. Seeing these two statuses confirms that the integration has been successful and that Cloud 1 is now effectively communicating with Vision 1. Now let's return to the Trend Vision 1 console. Under the Service Management and Product Instance menu, you'll notice that the status for Trend Cloud 1 is marked as connected. This indicates that our system are successfully linked. Before we perform an update, let's verify the connection by clicking the Endpoint Security menu, which is located on your left-hand navigation menu. So on the Endpoint Inventory menu, we can see that the Trend Cloud 1 endpoint and workload security is now connected to the Endpoint Manager, Protection Manager. Now let's perform the update we'll go back to the product instance by clicking on the Service Management menu. Located at the bottom of your screen, left bottom navigation menu, then click on the product instance. And this time, we'll now click the update button. Now, what we'll do is we'll put a check on I have read, acceptance, blah, blah. Okay, and then I click agree button. And we'll check for understand. We have already discussed this previously. Then connect and transfer. Now, it will take some time to complete the process. Notice that the display name is Trend Cloud 1, Endpoint and Workload Security. Or Trend Cloud 1. Yeah, okay. So once complete, the display name changes to Server and Workload Protection Manager. Let us also check the change in the Protection Manager by clicking on the Endpoint Security menu, which is on the left navigation panel. Click on the Endpoint Inventory. And as shown, it now displays the Server and Workload Protection Manager. For interface consistency, let's check by clicking on the Server and Workload Protection menu, which is located on the navigation panel. Okay. We'll click on the default server protection located here on the upper console. Just a drop-down list, and we'll select the Server and Workload Protection Manager. So when we access the Server and Workload Protection Manager using its unique identifier there, what we see is a familiar interface. This is the same environment we previously managed within Cloud 1, now seamlessly integrated to Vision 1. All the settings are carried over. Everything is operational just as before. This means we've successfully completed the migration in one go. All the tabs and settings you were accustomed to in Cloud 1 are right here in Vision 1. Currently, we are looking at this system managing just one computer. However, imagine the scale of operation if we were managing 1,000 computers. With this migration, all 1,000 computers will be transitioned simultaneously maintaining all settings and configurations across the board. Now, as we revisit the Trend Cloud One console, you'll notice a significant update. The endpoint and workload security feature is now marked deprecated. This means we're transitioning away from using endpoint and workload security in its previous form. So when you click on this option, you'll see a status update directing you to go to Trend Vision One Endpoint Security. While we explore other services within our Trend Cloud One account, it's important to note that they remain active and accessible. However, the specific service of endpoint and workload security has evolved, moving us towards a more advanced and integrated system in Trend Vision One. So let's move on to the next topic. For organizations currently utilizing Trend's on-premises endpoint protections such as Apex One or Deep Security, there is a valuable opportunity to enhance your security management through the integration with Vision One endpoint security. It's important to note, however, that while you can monitor these devices through Trend Vision One, the configuration and policy setting management will still be handled via the on-premises console. Trend Vision One does not replace this function but complements them by providing additional capabilities. For our initial scenario, the organization would like to connect their on-premise installation of the Deep Security to Trend Vision One Endpoint Security. From here, you can execute several mitigation actions on any device listed in your inventory, such as isolating an endpoint, running a remote custom shell, or starting a remote shell session. So to accomplish those actions, we need to install sensors on endpoints via Basecamp. So it's just a quick description for our, final scenario. So this is our Deep Security on-premise solutions. It shares many similarities with its cloud-based counterpart, the Cloud One Endpoint and Workload Security, in terms of functionality and user interface. If you're familiar with one, you'll find the navigation and management in the other quite intuitive. And as we move forward, we will introduce new capabilities that enhance our agents. In this scenario, we have server-04. So to add Deep Security to Vision One, let's click on the Service Management menu located on the lower left of your navigation panel. Click on the product instance, and then we click on the Add Existing Product. Now we'll click on the instance type, and then we select the Trend Micro Deep Security. So we'll generate a enrollment token by clicking this link, and we'll copy. And then, of course, successfully mentioned here, then we'll click Save button. Now we'll connect and transfer button, and the status for Trend Micro Deep Security will be pending until we configure the enrollment token on the Deep Security Management Console. So let's go back to the Deep Security Management Console. Let's click on the Administration menu and click on the Trend Vision One Console tab. And then we'll click on the Register Enrollment Token, and then we'll paste it here, the copied token from Vision One, and we'll click Register. And it will take some time to complete the registration process. Once we complete the registration process, we'll have Trend Vision One successfully set up. It's important to ensure that we check the box to forward security events on the Trend Vision One. This means our computers, servers, and workloads will be protected by deep security agents. These agents will generate various security events, including anti-malware alert, web reputation notification, firewall activity, and intrusion prevention incidents. All of these events are crucial for populating the Vision One data lake. When we conduct investigations with our organization, This rich set of data provides us with additional insights. To enhance our visibility, we gather this valuable information, allowing us to make informed decisions and respond effectively to potential threats. Returning to Trend Vision 1, we can now see that server 4 is connected. This server acts as our deep security manager. Now, I must admit, the name server-04 isn't very descriptive. In fact, it could use a change to make it more meaningful. So let's go ahead and click on it, and then we'll have to rename it. So we'll modify the content of the display name and enter from deep security. That's the name. Then we'll click save button located below. And now it's better. So to recap, we haven't changed any protection settings. Our main goal is to enable the communication between the Deep Security Manager and Vision One. This means that while our protection remains unchanged, we are still managing our on-premises solution with the Deep Security Manager. However, by connecting to Vision One, we gain valuable benefits as we are now able to provide important information to the platform. Now, our next step is to install the Basecamp and endpoint sensor. So let's click on the endpoint security menu on the left navigation panel. Click on the endpoint inventory, and then we'll expand the deep security. And then we'll click on the computers and click on the information icon for the server 04. So server 04 has this information icon. Next, we need to ensure that the endpoint sensor is running on all product computers. So for this, we'll be utilizing the Basecamp. It's important to note that the Basecamp, again, is not designed for protection. Rather, its purpose is to send information to Vision One and facilitate some interaction between our systems. So to do, we'll select the x86 64, then download the agent, then save, then right-click on the file, extract, and then extract on the designated location. Then we'll run and execute the endpoint Basecamp. So we'll wait for the installation to complete. So we have server 4 successfully reporting to Vision 1. The endpoint sensor has been installed via Basecamp, and we are in the process of adding additional components to enhance our setup. So let's select the endpoint name by clicking on the box next to the server 04. And then we'll click on the response drop-down list. And this one, and we now have the several options that we can trigger for server 4. So isolate endpoint. This option will completely cut the server off from the network. Second one, run custom script. We can execute a custom script directly on the server. The third option, we can trigger a manual scan because if we suspect an infection or an outbreak, we can initiate a manual scan. The last option, start remote shell session. So it will allow us to run a remote session on the selected machine. So these capabilities are why our customers are very satisfied with Deep Security on-premise. We continue to manage the entire solution through Deep Security Manager while enhancing our feature with Vision One. So before we end this session, let's have a recap. A policy consists of a collection of security settings that are applied to servers, workloads, and endpoint computers. To ensure a smooth transition to Trend Vision One, we've designed the policy deployment process to be familiar and intuitive. For servers and workloads, the deployment process in Trend Vision One mirrors what is already in use in Deep Security and Endpoint Security Cloud One. This familiarity helps streamline the integration and management of security measures. For standard endpoints, when transitioning standard endpoints to TrendVision 1 endpoint security, the process is similar to what is used in Apex Central as a service. This consistency ensures that the transition is seamless and efficient. By maintaining these familiar processes, we aim to simplify the integration of TrendVision 1 into your existing security infrastructure, ensuring that your protection is both robust and easy to manage. To deploy a policy to a server or workload, we'll create a new policy, duplicate and modify an existing one, or import a policy from another installation. Second is we'll modify the settings of the policy to match your security requirements. Finally, we'll assign the policy to the required servers and workloads. So to deploy a policy to a standard endpoint, first thing we need to do is to select a destination product. So it can be an Apex One security agent, Apex One MAC, Apex One data loss prevention, Apex One server. So next is identify the target endpoints to receive the policy settings. And the third step is to modify the settings of the policy to match your security requirements. And finally, you're now going to deploy the policy. Some of the benefits of TrendVision 1 endpoint security will include security which is tailored to the type of endpoint being used, either server workload or end user endpoint. TrendVision 1 provides a single console experience, allowing endpoint management from the same console used for XDR and ASRM. A variety of detection techniques ensures that TrendVision 1 endpoint security captures malware at any phase of an attack. It also supports for multiple protection managers that allows your organization to tailor their security to their requirements, as each protection manager can include distinct policies and configurations. It also has a wide OS support that allows TrendVision 1 to offer protection regardless of the operating system that's being used. Finally, the interface consistency allows users to easily transition from Trend cloud-based or on-premises endpoint protection that, easily. So these are just a few of the best practices related to the endpoint security. Endpoints should host both a security agent and an endpoint sensor. And make sure endpoint security solutions are regularly updated and patched. Monitor the security configuration tab of the executive dashboard. So before we end the session, a 30-day full trial access of TrendVision 1 is available for download, and you can scan the QR code. So please take a moment to complete our survey using the link provided or by scanning the QR code on your screen. Your insights are incredibly valuable for us. It will help us improve our training content. Again, thank you for being a part of today's sessions, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.